So friends, at the outset, let me wish all of you a very happy new year. Let's hope 2022 brings a lot of happiness, joy and good health to all of you and all of your family members. So my sincere wishes to all of you. Have a great year ahead. If you're thinking of joining bank, then this YouTube channel would be of utmost use, and my website BankTekSkills.com. And those who are already working in the bank, they can I've been uploading a lot of material on this, and I'll be adding more in my website also, description of which is given in my YouTube description, right, of my website. So let's hope new year brings a lot of success and career enhancement to all of you. So, and once again, thanks to all of you, those who have subscribed to my channels, those who are reviewing it, those who are giving me their feedbacks, as well as those who are joining my website also, BankTekSkills.com, wherein a lot of material regarding finacle, banking, sales and selling techniques, as well as various topics, how to enhance your personal, how to manage yourself personally, and how to manage stress and all that I'll be sharing in future also, and I've shared a lot of material there also. So once you become a member of my website, you'll have an opening to a lot of data, material, facts and figures about banking, be it technology, be it any academic concept that you need to learn, right? So in this video we shall learn about inventory management. I'll just describe what is inventory, how do we move from one stage to another stage, what is the process when we work in the finacle. So inventories are controlled through various finacle options. Branch on receipt of inventory from central team. So whenever branch requires any inventory from the central office, it sends an indent to the central office. Okay, we need so many checkbooks, 20 leaves, 50 leaves, 100 leaves, drafts and all that. So that central team is able to print those in time with the branch stamping, branch name, everything, and it is delivered in time. So when those inventories are received at the branches, they are physically counted and ensure that they tallies with the delivery challenge. There's no you can say a book missing from that lot. And these inventories are entered in a finacle for movement and control and maintenance of such inventories. The first is savings bank checkbooks, another is current account checkbooks, demand drafts, TDR, deposit receipts, and traveler checks. So traveler checks have become very few nowadays. We have prepaid system in lieu of that, so it may vary from bank to bank and from this thing also, organizations also. The inventories received in bulk will be stored under double lock safe. There are two custodians who put in signatures also, and they have their own keys also. So under the joint custody of two officials. So just to ensure that there's adequate safety to all these inventories, because these are of paramount importance. They can be misused by any person. So there are two employees who are in control of it, and they are called two employees dual control. So it is moved from employees location to required employees acceptance with each system. Employee is required to confirm his or her acceptance by entering his own password. So we learn which are two classes, location class and inventory type, that we move from one location to another location, right? Let me scroll down. So these are some of the key terminologies used in the inventory management process. Location class and location code, very important. The broader classification, double lock, location class, right? Then we have location code, employees. That is a sub classification, safe 1, safe 2, right? Then inventory class, first level of classification of inventory. Then inventory type is a savings checkbook, current checkbooks, demand drafts and all that. Finacle process overview. So we have to invoke the menu option HIMC for doing all these transactions, right? And I've shared a live video on my website BankTekSkills.com, wherein you can see live videos how I've invoked this menu option in finacle and show you various fields which are required to be filled and how the password has to be entered. So when inventory is received in the branches from the central office, it is in the location called class ZZ and location code external, right? So location class is ZZ, location code is external. Then from there, after the inventory is counted, checked, doubly checked, and it is entered in a register in case required in certain branches, in certain organizations, they are also entered in a register and both custodians sign. In lieu of that, they have checked the inventory and they found it intact. Then from ZZ to external, the inventory moves to DL, that is double lock, when it is kept in the safe or locker in the system, right? So when all the inventory moves inside, right, under double lock, double keys of two officials, it is called DL, double lock, double lock. So inventories are placed in the vault, right? Enter the details of the checks, click submit. Other inventory, if any, can also be added. I have shown this in my video on my website also, how we can add as many entries, as many types of entries as we like by clicking on the add button on the left hand side top corner. Use the inventory transaction ID generated to get process verification using the same menu option HIMC, right? Repeat the process by moving inventory from DL to employee and the employee number of the person, employee who will be holding in his possession in his location for issue of check to any customers or issuing any draft to any customers or traveler checks or whatever it is, right? Whatever inventory is there. Now the inventory is available to the employees for day-to-day use. Now he can issue, so when he'll be entering in the finacle, when he'll go and issue the checkbook, it will show in his location. So he'll be able to issue to a customer. Otherwise, he will not be able to. The checkbook leaves are supposed to be converted into a books invoking HISAI for this purpose. Then we have to split because inventory is received in thousands, 2000, 5000, and suppose a checkbook leaf is of 50, so they have to be divided by 50 each. So how many books would be there? So we split them and inquire the inventory on other locations. Then the menu option HISIA is to be invoked. The screen interface and navigation will be similar to HISAI except that user can change in the own locations. Now books can also be merged into leaves in case employee is going on leave, right? So first we split them when we issue them in their location. It remains in the custody of those employees. If they are going to on leave, they have to merge and they have to bring it back to DL so that two authorized signatories or two officers in charge of this inventory management will issue to another employee. Merge and inquire the inventory on other locations, then menu option HIMIA can be invoked. The screen interface navigates will be similar to HIMAI except that user can change in their own locations. Sometimes when a customer comes in to close the account and we find that there are certain checks issued to him which he has not used, they are to be destroyed before we close the account. Our system won't allow us to close the account. It will say checks need to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed in the finacle system as well as physically also. So DIDI is destroyed inventory. Inquiry HIMI is the menu command. And if you want to generate reports, suppose auditors comes in, he wants as on date how many inventories there in the branch, you can say vault, and how many are issued to particular employees. All these reports can be generated through these HIMR and HISR and HISRA, ISRA. And we can print or view with menu command HPR. So this is the screenshot that you see when you are entering in the finacle, that is HIMC. Now this screenshot is very important. The function first we are adding it, then from location class to from location code. So first we have to choose from location class and from location code, that is ZZ and external. Then they will be put inside the vault, that is double lock. To location class and location code DL, double lock, click on accept. Now physically in the finacle, the inventory has moved into the vault under double lock of the two officers responsible for maintaining those inventories and issuing them to various employees on day-to-day basis. Now after that, inventory class type, enter the relevant instrument class and type. It is SB20, SB50, SB100. Then code can be selected by clicking on the searcher also. Inventory alpha, then start number and the end number. So maybe we received, let's say 100 checkbooks of 100 rupees, 100 check leaves each, right? So that will be roughly around 10,000. So enter the first check number, enter the last check number. It will show you 10,000 checks individually. Of course, later on we will be splitting them into 100 each. Then we have to validate, quantify. Once validate is clicked, the quantity field is automatically updated. Okay, how many checkbooks are there, right? As soon as we enter the start number and end number, we don't have to enter 10,000 or how many number of leads are there. We need not bother about that. This field will automatically populate. Then add and click on submit. Then finally, verification is done with same HIMC and you enter the transaction ID, click on go. Verifier has to put his own signatures, own password, sorry, not signatures. Signatures would be on the register. Both the employees, they can put their password either in the one system or in the system of their own. So if you can share the screen with your co-officer also, then it can be done in the same system also. Otherwise, both of them can use two different systems for entering their own password just to keep the secrecy. So here you can see there's authorizer. As soon as you click on this, first one has already entered his password, first officer. Second officer either can click here or he can log in with the transaction ID in his own system and then he can enter his own password here. As soon as authorize will, you have to click on this. It will take you the original login page of the finacle wherein you have to log in your IDs and passwords. ID would automatically generated. You just have to enter your password there and this will be moved to double lock. So when you authorize, this page appears, right? So you just have to enter your password here. Now from DLDL, next day morning after the day begin, both the custodians have to move those inventories. Let's say out of 100 leaves, 10 leaves are given to any employee who issues a savings account checkbooks to various customers. Of course, now we have centralized process in mostly private banks, but government banks, they do have their own branches level system here. So from DLDL, it goes to the employee. We'll enter EM here and employee number, employee code, and click on accept, right? So this is, we are moving from the vault to the employee's location so that after they begin, he can issue checkbooks to any customer who visits the branch. Then same process has to be followed, which type of inventory class it is, what is the alpha, what is the start number, end number, then validate. Quantity will automatically populate here. You don't have to enter manually. Then add and then submit. So this is transaction ID is successful. So once both the custodians and the recipient have put in their password in the system, the transaction ID is authorized successfully. Then we go in for splitting of the inventory by the employee, right? So for splitting, the command is HISAI. The checks are moved to the employee's location as leaves, not as booklets. These leaves have to be made into a set of checkbooks by using inventory split options. So you must know whether there are 500 leaves or 100 leaves checkbooks is there, right? How many leaves are there in a booklet of a checkbook? Then this function is performed by the employee and does not require any verification or checker function. So the splitting and merging is done by the employee without any verification. Very important point. So start serial number, no action is required. It is auto-populated. Items per unit. This you have to be sure how many 20 leaves, 50 leaves, 100 leaves. the number of units will automatically populate. Quantity no action, items per unit multiplied by number of units should be equal to the figure mentioned in the quantity. Now this is very important. Items per unit multiplied by number of units, right? So that should of course be equivalent to quantity. As I give an example, we have got 1000 checkbook leaves received, and they are of 100. There are 100 leaves in a booklet, right? So there will be 100 more. So 100 fields would be there. So item per unit would be 100, number of units would be 100, quantity would be 1000 here. Then click on submit. This is how splitting is done. Now after this, employee can issue the checkbook. So this was just to reinforce your knowledge regarding inventory management. Rest you can find in my website BankTekSkills.com, wherein I have explained each and every field working live in the finacle system. So once again, wishing you all a very happy new year. Happiness and joy and good health to all of you and your family members. Stay safe and happy banking journey. Thank you.